Everyone is currently starting a podcast to grow their business. But here's the truth, 99% of podcasts barely reach even 100 listeners per episode. And most podcasters just end up wasting months creating content that barely moves the needle for their business. I'm qualified to talk about this because I've helped dozens of business owners generate leads through long-form content, and many of my clients are running podcasts or have tried it in the past. And let me tell you, there's a much better approach that gets you faster growth, more leads, higher conversions, and it's actually easier to make it work. So in this video, I will explain why you should skip the podcast trend and what you should do instead to actually scale your business using long-form content and build a profitable personal brand. Let's dive in. So here's why you probably shouldn't run a podcast. First of all, it's extremely hard to go. It's an oversaturated market with millions of podcasts launching every year. Most new podcasts get less than 50 downloads per episode, and it takes 1 to 2 years minimum to see any meaningful traction. Obviously, there are outliers to this, but on average, you need to invest a lot of time and effort to see some type of result. And the worst part is there's no algorithmic discovery like with YouTube or with other platforms, because with the podcast platforms, there isn't really an algorithm. And even if you upload the podcast, like take the podcast and upload it to YouTube, for example, those videos won't be optimized for YouTube. What I mean by that is they will be podcasts in a podcast format, not YouTube videos in a YouTube video format. So that's why they usually won't perform well. And you can see this with thousands of YouTube channels out there. I'm looking at, dozens of YouTube channels basically every day. Like that's my job. Just here are a couple of examples. I see these all the time. You can see hundreds of videos, just podcast episodes, here hundreds of videos as well, podcast episodes, and they just have like a couple hundred subscribers. Like if you were to actually upload hundreds of videos with the right strategy, hundreds of YouTube videos, then you shouldn't have just a couple hundred subscribers. Like that is crazy. And these people are just pumping out their podcast episodes on YouTube without seeing any results. Of course, they might be getting more traction from Spotify, iTunes, or the podcast platforms, but in general, it's just much harder to reach people with podcasts. Now, secondly, there's a very high barrier to entry. What I mean by that isn't necessarily hard to start a podcast, but to actually get to the level where you're reaching people, you're getting results from podcasts, you're generating leads, there's very high barrier to entry because there are a bunch of high level skills you need to create a successful podcast. First of all, you need to be naturally a compelling speaker. You must have strong interview skills and make the conversation flow well. And you also must know how to create clip-worthy moments, because nowadays podcasts just thrive on clips. So, you get small clips out from the podcast, you upload them to TikTok, Instagram Reels, etc. And that's mainly how podcasts grow nowadays. So you need to know how to create those clip-worthy moments, not just like speak randomly, but actually be intentional about creating those clips throughout your podcast. That's really important. You can see these are a ton of skills that usually take years to master. Like top podcasters have years of experience you don't have, and that's why they're so successful. Just look at Joe Rogan. He's been doing that for like 20, 30 years. Chris Williamson, same thing. He's been doing that for a long time, and you can see this with almost all the podcasters out there. Thirdly, poor lead generation and conversion. So because all of the above reasons I just mentioned, your podcast will likely not reach your ideal clients, let alone get them to buy. Now, again, I'm not saying that you can grow your business using a podcast. A lot of people have done it. But what I'm saying is that there are much better alternatives out there that can bring you better results and even faster. So you might be asking, what is the better alternative? So here it is, YouTube long-form video content. Let me explain to you why I say this. First of all, it's much easier to grow and get discovered. If you optimize your videos the right way, the algorithm actively promotes your content to new viewers. It's also a search-based platform, which means that people find your videos organically just by searching for the topic. Like literally, we've made dozens of videos for clients that have been generating traffic for years. I just attached like 2 screenshots. You can see like over a year, and it's just been going up and up and up like this, amassing tens of thousands of views. Of course, as a business owner, your goal is not to go viral or get the most amount of views, but if you want to generate leads from content, you need to be able to reach as many of your ideal clients as possible. And that's why this is so important. Now, the second reason is that you don't need to be an expert at it to make it work. You can structure the video in advance using a script. You can do infinite retakes and edit out mistakes when recording. Sure, to create YouTube videos that perform well and get you clients, you need to be able to talk about your expertise and experience for 10 to 30 minutes and provide value in a concise manner, but you don't need to have lead level conversation skills like top podcasters have. And thirdly, it gives you all the same benefits as podcasting, but better. So still, it's long form content, which as we know builds a lot deeper trust than just short form videos. It also nurtures your audience over time. The more and more they watch your videos, they get nurtured over time. And also still positions you as an expert in your niche. Obviously, you look at people who have a bunch of YouTube videos and established YouTube channel as the expert in the niche. But here's why it's even better. So YouTube videos, as I said, reach way more people and it grows much faster. And also it converts better because you can structure it strategically to nurture people and send them down your funnel, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. We use just YouTube organic long form videos to get these types of results for our clients. Here's, for example, Sam, who added $66,000 in just the first couple of months of working with us. I did a client interview with him. You can check it out on my channel. Same thing, I did a case study breakdown about how we we got Nicholas a $13,500 deal, like just one deal from YouTube, closing one sales call. You can check these out. That's the exact strategy we use with both of these clients. Here's how to build out your YouTube sales funnel. The most important thing you need to nail are the video ideas. Here are the best ways to come up with these video ideas. First of all, competitor analysis. So you look at what's working for competitors in your niche or also in similar niches. So videos that did a lot better than their average videos. And that's how you know that those video topics really resonated with that target market. Second one is pain points and desires. So you need to focus on the specific problems you solve and the outcomes you have clients achieve, and then create videos about each of these. So you create videos about how to solve their specific and biggest pain points, and you also create videos about how to achieve their biggest desires. This is just a sure way to attract the right type of people who want to achieve the result that you provide. Then there's service breakdown. So what I mean by that is you break down your service into individual components and then create videos around each part. So to give you an example, let's say you're a coach and you have agency owners scale to 7 figures. So probably with your coaching program, you have them create a good offer, you have them get clients, you have them retain clients, etc. You can break down your offer in each of these components. So like creating your offer, marketing, retaining clients, operations, all the stuff. And then you can create videos about each of these topics, helping viewers and providing value about each of these topics. Then you need to structure every video like a sales asset. So what this means is there's a short hook, first of all, that calls out your ideal clients and explains the value you will deliver in the video. This will be the first 10 to 30 seconds. Then you deliver all your knowledge for free in the body. So you try to provide as much value as you can. Obviously, it will depend on the video idea. If it's a longer format video, if it will be just like 8 to 10 minutes, or if it will be like 30, 40 minutes, this will inevitably depend on the type of video you're creating. But in general, you want to just lay out everything you know and just give as much value as possible. Then you include 2 call to actions in the video, one at around like 33% mark of the video, and then one at the end as well. This structure we found works best to nurture viewers and lead them down your funnel using either a lead magnet or free call as a call to action. And these will be the videos that will attract and nurture your ideal clients. And then about 10 to 20% of your videos should be bottom of funnel conversion videos. So these are case study breakdowns, it's in-depth videos like 20 to 60, even more than 60 minutes. And you explain how you got results for one of your clients. You go in depth, you break down the full case study. And the other conversion video is client interviews. So you get a successful client on a 10 to 20 minute call and you ask questions about the result they achieve and the experience working with you. These videos will act as conversion mechanisms on your channel and you will see a lot more leads once you create a couple of these. Like these will just supercharge the conversion that you already get from the previously mentioned video types, and that will help you a lot in making an actual ROI from YouTube. So here's how you scale this to the moon. Each new video stacks on top of previous ones. So after 2 to 3 months of consistently uploading, we usually see 500 to 5,000 new weekly views coming in from the videos consistently. Obviously that number varies a lot depending on a lot of outside factors, but in general you can easily build up a couple thousand views per week if you upload consistently for 2 to 3 months. And the more videos you upload, the more this number grows. So this is a screenshot of how it looks for our client Nicholas. He's getting between 1,000 and 3,000 eyeballs on his content every single day from his ideal client. And this is completely for free. No ad spend, nothing, just free content, and it builds over time. After this, your entire channel becomes a lead generation engine working 24/7. So if you want to build out this entire YouTube funnel for your business without you doing any of the work, then click the first link in the description and book a free call with me. We'll talk about your exact situation, your goals, and see if our system is the right option for you. So again, click the link below. Worst case scenario, you just leave with a couple of insights about your business and YouTube. So yeah, click the link below, book your free call with me. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.